Mr. Illy, we're just talking about climate change. I know we've talked actually quite a lot in the past about some of the new agricultural innovation that you've been working on. How will that be accelerated in the next 10 to 15 years?
Well, agriculture is responsible for 25% of the global greenhouse house emission. This is what has been also reported in the last report of the Intergovernmental Panel of Climate Change in preparation of the climate meeting next week in New York at the United Nations. The good news is that not only agriculture can reduce emissions by sinking carbon into the soil, which also make it more fertile and resilient to the effects of climate change. So it's the same tactics is for adaptation and mitigation to climate change for agriculture. And the net possible outcome in the long term is that agriculture not only can reduce significantly emissions, ensure more food security, but also sequestrate carbon substantially. So this is what I'm trying to do with my company. I set the goal of this soil-to-soil carbon cycle in order to have the company carbon-free in 2033, which is not a joke, is because we celebrate our century anniversary in 2033, and I would like to reach this symbolic target of being carbon-free in that day.
By then, Andrea, when you look at coffee prices, so they've been steady but lower, and there's been talk about some of the growers trying to scale them up. Are you worried that actually we could see something like a shock if there's a premium to coffee prices?
Not really, not a real shock. The coffee sector has always been cyclic. Every 10 years we have low prices, which eventually lead to a decrease in production, and then the demand makes the price increase again. The problem are investments, because in order to make this coffee agriculture more sustainable, both economically and environmentally, we need more investment. We invest no more than 300 million. We need to invest at least 1 billion.